started with the first tips and tricks that we have to provide for you, how to use LSI data to inform your strategy. So for those of you who are not familiar with LSI Insights, LSI Insights is a data analytics software, and it's now fully integrated with LMPM. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be able to, when you turn on your integration, and Faye will show you how to do that here in just a minute, we're going to pull all of your reservation information from your PMS system all the way over into LSI Insights. And then it's going to populate that information into really beautiful formats that are graphical and charts, and that will distill that information down into some basic key performance indicators that you can use in order to help determine how your business is performing. So the basic subscription is 100% free to LMPM users. So we do recommend, as Faye walks you through that, just go in your system and toggle that on so you can start that process of integration. And the basic subscription is going to provide you metrics such as your occupancy, your ADR, your RevPAR or RevPAR as it's also called, and unit performance information. And all of this information is going to be comparing you to your marketplace as well as to yourself as of the same date last year. So you're going to be able to see this information by day and how your market is moving in comparison to prior year and how you are moving in reference to the market. So super informative information. And that is going to be the data that we're going to use in order to design the spectacular marketing that the other partners that are on here are going to talk about. We do offer a premium subscription. So after you've gotten in and you've started using the free subscription, you're going to be able to view information about all of the other pieces of LSI Insights. And that provides rental projections for prospective owners. So if an owner comes to you and says, we're thinking of putting our property on your rental program, what kind of income can I earn within your marketplace? We're going to be able to provide you an exportable, beautiful version of a projection for that rental. We're going to provide you with a pickup report, which is going to show you your sales pace in reference to how you paced during this same time frame last year, 7 days pickup, 30-day pickup, however you would like to design to see that. We also have email performance reports. So if you just really want quick information, you can have all of that information just emailed to you in a quick, easy to read format in your inbox every morning. And then we also have a guest marketing section, which is going to be then, now that we have all of this data, all this information, how are we going to use this in order to create custom database lists that are going to enable us to do target marketing? And then we can provide all of this information to our creative team, our brilliant minds that are also here with me today. And they're going to take this information and they're going to design custom target marketing pieces around these database lists and this information that you're going to provide to them. Okay, so I will hand this over to Faye, and she's going to talk about how to get this turned on in just a couple quick steps inside your system.
All right, so this is really no different than how you activate any integration in LMPM. Again, very exciting. I think that this is really going to help fill the gap between our native reporting capabilities in LMPM versus what LSI can offer on a much more bigger level, in addition to those market insights. So we're going to go here to main menu. We're going to head down here to settings. We're going to cruise on over here to our integration section. Assuming that this is not yet active, we're going to want to check out our inactive integrations. We're going to scroll down here to the bottom. We're going to click here on LSI Tools. Again, no real difference here than how we do most of our other integrations. We're going to want to toggle this on to active. This is very important that you are going to need to provide this company ID. I'm going to go ahead and give this a save. All right, now that LSI is active, very important piece of the puzzle. Please don't miss this piece. We want to select all so that all of your inventory, got a little click happy, all of your inventory is, and all that good data is going to flow over to LSI. So once you toggle this to active, scroll down, we're going to want to select all on the properties. And then again, we're going to want to give that another save. Once you are done with this process, super quick and easy, per the instructions, you're going to go ahead and email help@lsitools.com. Maureen and her team will take it from there, getting your account all set up and show you the next steps.
Perfect. And one question that I got is, why would I want to send all of the properties over to LSI? Would there ever be a time frame where I would want to exclude any properties? And the answer is no. Really, we want 100% of that data to flow over, and then we want to manage it inside LSI. LSI is going to give you the opportunity to exclude units, just to select a couple of properties. And so for how you're looking at the data, so it's going to be able to provide you with every opportunity in order to drill down. But if you want to see your overall company performance, we do want you to be able to have all of that data inside your tool.
Yeah, and they, Maureen, I mean, those LSI reports are incredible. We've used them talking with our clients at Q4 launch, just showing them the different capabilities and how they can use it. So, I mean, super powerful data and a really easy to view format. So excited that that's rolled out for LMPM as well.
Yeah, definitely. So that email address again, because I have a question about that, is help@lsitools with an S.com. help@lsitools.com. Price of premium subscription. Well, I would watch your inbox for that. It's a $250 per month subscription, but we do anticipate rolling out some specials here in the coming weeks. So definitely watch your inbox for that premium subscription. So for today, just get that integration going. Let's pull over the data. And it's going to be active for you within 24 hours. So it's very quick for that data to come over to us once you toggle that button over. You will receive a welcome email from our team, and it's going to include videos on each of the reports inside LSI that you have access to. Also, every single report or view that you're looking at in LSI has a video help section at the bottom of the page that has the same video of how to use the tool. So it's going to give you that overview of how to use the filters or how to use the tool and what that report is telling you inside LSI. So let's just review some of the top LSI Insights reports. So the top four that I would say are going to be your occupancy report. So your occupancy report, you're going to be able to see comparison to your marketplace. Now, LSI is a little different than the other data tools that you can get in the marketplace because LSI is going to provide you with a large amount of data. And so our markets are very broad. We do give you the ability to drill down into the data, into your zip code, your city, or however you'd like to see the information. We think that this is the most valuable way to deliver information because it's going to allow you to see how your surrounding markets are doing. So if other owners are coming to you and they're in those surrounding markets, you could drill down into those marketplaces and see how those marketplaces are performing year over year. So that if there have been drastic changes since prior year, in one way or another, you're going to be able to see that and see, how that market is shifting. That's going to be valuable information for you when you're talking to that prospective owner so that they can understand the property that they might be considering purchasing. So occupancy information, you can see it by day, comparison to last year, and to the marketplace. Then we have your revenue report. Your revenue report is going to be able to provide you with key performance indicators such as ADR. How is my average daily rate doing in comparison to the same time last year and also in comparison to the market? Now, it's very important when we talk about things such as ADR that we're also able to drill down into the type of inventory we want to see because a 6-bedroom property, of course, has a much higher ADR than a 2-bedroom property. And depending upon if it's luxury or if it's standard or if it's on the oceanfront or if it's, two rows back, this could make a big difference. So LSI provides you with all the filter options so that you can drill down into specifically what you want to see. A 2-bedroom property compared to market 2-bedroom homes with specific amenities and location. pickup report. The pickup report is going to be your sales pacing report. So this is going to show you over the past period of time. You could say, I want to see the past 30 days for a larger trend, or just the past week over week sales versus last year. How many reservations have I picked up? What is the average rate? How much revenue did they bring in? And then also, how does that compare to what the market is bringing in? So we're going to give you the ability to layer on what the market has brought in, the same time we're showing you what you've brought in. So if things are up or down, you can see, is it everybody who's experiencing this, or is it just me? And that's really valuable information, especially if you're getting owner calls or you're putting together an owner newsletter. You can just let the owners know, hey, this is just what's happening right now. It's not just, your property. It is just the market is seeing this lag. Maybe it's a booking window delay as you come up on holidays, whereas last year you had more advanced bookings, and now the booking windows maybe slid a couple of weeks to the right. So that's going to provide us with that intelligence. It will also show you what percentage of the reservations you brought in are coming into the short term, the 30-day window, the medium term, the 31 to 60-day window, and further out in the distance, so that you can adjust pricing, or that you know what timeframes you need to market for. It's going to be super important and helpful for that. And then we have unit leaderboard. So the unit leaderboard is going to show us every property that you have connected into LSI from your PMS system. And it's going to show you how they're performing as far as all the important KPIs: revenue, ADR, RevPAR, occupancy, owner nights and holds, because those are important too. And you're going to be able to select any period of time. So if you just want to look at how are they doing year to date, how are they doing for the next 30 days? How are they doing for the next 60 days? It's going to show you that information. Okay, so how do I use all of this for the purposes of marketing? So everything is interconnected. Revenue management, how my rates are going to move, how my marketing is going to be determined. All of it is interconnected with the data. So the occupancy is going to tell you, if you run it for the next 30 or 60 days, where your weak points are in the upcoming period that need to be marketed for. You can also see, well, how are ADRs moving? What is my highest demand period of time? What are my lowest demand periods of time? And who am I speaking to as far as who travels during that time frame? Pickup report. How fast am I moving for the close in? How fast am I moving for the further out? Your occupancy might seem low for the upcoming 60 days, but if your pickup is really moving quite fast right now, then maybe that's not as much of a concern as further out, if you're seeing that that's the time frame where you really need to move the needle. And your unit leaderboard, of course, is going to tell you which properties need the most attention. So it's going to tell you, this property is down in revenue, but it has a lot of owner nights, so we can't book it anyway. Okay, maybe that's not necessarily a need property, but there's another one that it's wide open for us to sell, and it's down in revenue for the upcoming 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. So all of these are pieces of the puzzle that we put together, and it gives us the information we need in order to then inform our creative teams, the brilliant people here with me today, that can then design targeted marketing around the information.
We've got quite a few questions in the Q&A that we can pause for. Denise is wanting to know where we're getting zip code marketplace data, and also what is considered a local market, Maureen.
Okay, perfect. So you design your market. So we're going to give you a large portion of data, and then there's filter options where you can select specific zip codes that you would like to see. You can also select just specific names of towns. So if you have inventory that's only located inside 2 towns, that can be your market. And then you can layer on other pieces, such as 2 bedrooms in this town that are oceanfront. So that's going to really narrow it down so that you're creating your own customized market there. Where does LSI pull the data from? Is it from other PMs who have signed up with LSI also? So yes, so LSI is integrated with 9 different property management systems. So, and all over the world. We have data coming from all over multiple different countries. And so we have a tremendous reach from these different PMS systems with people who are using the software. So this is direct PMS data so it's going to be accurate down to the penny. So it is really reliable. So I get this question a lot. What are the main differences between LSI and key data? So it's sort of going to be like Coke and Pepsi, right? So they're very similar. Data is data, ADR is ADR, RevPA is RevPA, so occupancy is occupancy. So it's going to show you, both are going to show you your own data. The market is where some of the differences are, as well as some of the tools. So one of the tools that we're going to discuss today in the upcoming slides, it doesn't exist inside key data. And so it's going to be a really important piece of the puzzle that you're going to want to have. And that's where LSI has that. And as well as the data. So key data also pulls directly from PMSs. So both are coming directly from PMSs. So they're going to have some differences in data. But essentially, like I said, it's more like Coke and Pepsi.
And I think one thing to point out too, it's not just folks that have signed up with LSI, it's the data from the PMS entity that is all collaborated together.
Something else that I learned recently about LSI that I think is really valuable as it relates to key data is that it's my understanding that you don't count owner nights or stays in the occupancy report. And that's my understanding. That's a pretty decent differentiator between key data as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have just paid occupancy that we'll look at. So as far as guest marketing, so this is the portion that you're not going to find in any other tool that's out there. So guest marketing allows us to customize our databases. So what we want to do is, now that the reservation data lives inside LSI and we have the ability to look at how the data relates to the same time last year, to the upcoming periods of time, and individual home performance, now we want to take that information and we want to pull targeted database lists based upon different types of criteria. So LSI in the guest marketing section is going to be able to allow you to either view all of your database of guests with important information such as arrival, departure date, and their email addresses and guest names. Or you can just give it some criteria for guests that you would like to target market to, such as, I only want to pull a database for guests that have a spend that is under $1,000. So these would be guests that stay maybe in more budget-friendly properties, or maybe they're staying for shorter lengths of time. Guests who stayed over specific dates last year and have not yet rebooked. That's a really big one. So if you are looking at just the upcoming 60 or 90-day period of time, you can filter for just the people who stayed with you during that same period of time last year, or maybe 2 or 3 years back, who have a pattern of staying during that time frame. And then you can select for, but you want to exclude anybody who has already created a reservation. That way you really get a list of people who have not yet rebooked that maybe you could put a special offer out to. In addition, you could run a list such as people who stayed in a specific location, town, or area, guests who stay at properties with specific types of amenities, such as a private pool, game room, hot tub. If you're announcing a brand new property or a couple of properties that have specific types of amenities, you could design an email campaign to announce that property is new to you, to your website, and that and you're announcing that to people who have a buying pattern of staying in that specific type of home. So getting the right message in front of the right audience.
And that kicks it over to me. Thanks so much, Maureen. I'm going to talk a little bit or quite a bit about how do we leverage those lists, right? So data gets exciting, but what really gets exciting is when you can actually do something with it. And now we have capabilities to make smarter, more targeted marketing moves with the information that we get from LSI reports. So how do we design an email marketing strategy? We have our traditional monthly marketing emails that go out to our normal database, which is great. That's best practices. You can leverage your LMPM site to have your subscriber capture. It's really great to have a normal cadence with your guests to get that monthly newsletter talking about events, new properties, exciting things that are going on with your company. And creating any kind of sense of urgency that you need. But when we start capturing segmented data from LSI, and of course, like Maureen said, excluding those who have already made a reservation, then we can really get down into the nitty-gritty of building segments to target those people and get quicker conversions by offering different types of incentives, whether it be your shoulder season and events that are coming into town, like more local vibe events, or whether it be certain specials, new properties, or traditionally high ADR properties that you might want to drop the price on and feature that. So with designing these databases in LSI and exporting them, you can leverage Bluetent or Campaign Monitor, which is the platform we utilize to get emails out the door. We can build as many segments as we need and either send a one-time marketing piece to those people, or we can build a drip campaign that might have an incentive based on, let's say they have booked 5 bedrooms with you over the last 5 years, but they have not rebooked yet. We can do an automated campaign that notifies them of their booking anniversary. And Reagan, maybe you can show the next slide so I can kind of talk through a few examples that we've done. So I call the first one low-hanging fruit. This is really where your pickup report in LSI gets exciting because it's a quick opportunity to market to those that are within a driving range of your destination, feature like local events or discounts that you want in a short booking window. And that's really where you start seeing flash deal or that pickup report get populated, because you're telling people that actually can make it to your destination, hey, we've got a really good reason for you to come. So pack up the car and let's go. Booking reminders, we can pull a list from LSI again with the booking anniversary of the guest and set up sort of a drip campaign, or an automated campaign rather, that sends out a nicely crafted email to your past guests, letting them know that they have not rebooked with you and this was their booking anniversary or the date they booked in the previous years. And in that email, you can feature other homes that are similar to what they booked in the past, maybe new properties that you've brought on. But it's really easy to change these templates and do customized content to a particular group of guests. Then we get into really targeted sending, which like if you pull a report from LSI of all the folks who have not booked again for this year, but have traditionally booked, maybe it's a luxury unit or condos or oceanfront, we can do targeted sends to those so that we're featuring very specific group of properties. So we're not asking them to go back to your website and search all units. We're delivering exactly what they want right to their inbox. And then post-departure and beyond, these are really important because especially if you're getting OTA bookings, this is where we want to really get in front of your guests and make sure that we are checking in with them as soon as they check out and encouraging them to rebook. We often offer a rebooking incentive for X amount of days after they rebook, 10% off if you book within the next month for next year. It's a great opportunity to ask for feedback. And now we have these people in our email world, and we will continue to add them to your monthly marketing email. So we get the data out of LMPM, it flows into LSI, then we can start creating these really lovely targeted segments so that we're not asking our guests to go start from scratch for their search or start building their vacation from scratch. It's telling them that we understand what you want, and we're going to deliver you a very specific email with specific product and incentives. So yeah, the capabilities with email are even continuing to grow with LMPM as far as building new automations and things like that, which are exciting things that are coming down the pipeline. We'd love to continue to talk about this in the future. But I'm going to kick it over to Tyler to start talking through some SEO strategies with the LMPM tool.
Melinda's got a question for you, Robin, before we kick it over.
Can these targeted emails only be applied to past guests? Is it possible to send guests who inquired but did not book? So that's a really good question. You are developing databases within LSI and we're manually importing them into our email marketing platform. So when you go and build those segments, yes, we could take a database of people who have contacted you with specific requests and create a list just for those, request more information people, or layer them into your regular marketing emails. It's certainly best practices if somebody has reached out to you on a contact form or subscribed to your email list, that those people get added to, at the very least, your main database. If they've had very specific questions, like are these properties pet friendly, or we have 2 dogs or 18 kids that we want to bring, then we want to add them to the appropriate segment for that, like my family friendly list, or my pet friendly list, or my luxury homes list. Tyler, take us away. This SEO is a hot topic, obviously, right now, and I'm really excited to see all the opportunity that LMPM does provide, and Tyler has a lot of good content here for you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robin. With SEO, the benefits of using search engine optimization. Obviously, when you want to start getting your properties booked, you want to get your properties out there in front of as many people as possible. So many searches for a vacation do start on Google, and getting up onto page 1 of Google is absolutely necessary in order to start increasing bookings, get yourself in front of more property owners for homeowner acquisition and all of that good stuff. And with SEO, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of different search signals that Google is looking at to determine if your site deserves to be in that top position, if you deserve to be on page 1. There are a lot of really difficult things, maybe a little bit more high level things that you might need to get an expert to come in on to help you get your site rolling. But there are also a lot of basic optimization strategies that you can use with any property management system, but obviously LMPM as well. And that's what I'm going to be going into today. So some basic optimization strategies. Every SEO campaign starts with a keyword research campaign. You need to find out what organic keywords and phrases people are entering and searching so that are relevant to your business. A very good place to start, obviously, insert your area here, vacation rentals. That's always a great place to start, but you want to look for more keywords than that. And there's a whole bunch of great free tools out there that can help you with that. For instance, Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush Keyword Tool, and you can even use Google itself. If you search, insert area here, vacation rentals in Google, there you'll notice a section, if you scroll down a little bit, the people also ask section. That is actually just being pulled from search, what Google believes is relevant to the search that you have just entered. So you can use that to kind of determine what people are searching. Now, I say start with insert area here, vacation rentals, but you also want to kind of get deeper into that using those aforementioned tools, because insert area here, vacation rentals, that is going to be a very difficult competitive term to rank for. And if you're a smaller property management company, if your site hasn't been around for a long time, it's going to be very difficult to rank for those. But if you dig deeper using those tools, you can find what we call the long tail keywords. These keywords are very specific, very indicative of a searcher who's ready to convert. And they're also a lot more easy to rank for, just because there's not as many people targeting those terms all over their website. Everyone wants to rank for those thousands of searches a month terms, but not everyone gets down into the nitty gritty and finds those 10, 20, 30 search a month terms that result in 1 out of every 10 person searching booking. Those are the keywords that are gold, and those are the keywords that you're going to find using the Google Keyword Planner, the SEMrush Keyword Tool, people also ask section. Now, when you find those keywords, obviously finding them isn't going to be exactly helpful. You need to start to use those keywords in the correct places. There are a ton of places on the site that Google is looking for to determine, what you will offer as your services. One of the most important parts, meta titles and descriptions throughout the website. Obviously, your homepage, extremely important to use the Yoast SEO tool. Throw those meta titles and or keywords into your meta title and description, which that's what shows up in Google when you actually are searching on Google. if you're in Arizona, let's just say you make your homepage meta title Scottsdale, Arizona vacation, or luxury Scottsdale, Arizona vacation rentals, and then your brand. That's a very good way to start making sure that you have an optimized homepage. And you want to go throughout your entire website, optimize those meta titles and descriptions. You make sure that you're using those keywords that you have found in that keyword research step, and just have them in those meta titles and descriptions throughout the site. You also want to throw that into your content. So on each page that you're mentioning your rentals or that you list your rentals, obviously we have your search result pages with the LMPM tool. You want to make sure that you have a little bit of content on those search result pages with the keyword that you're trying to rank for in that page. There's also image, alt, and title tags, header tags, just lots of different places that you need to make sure that you have those keywords and utilize those so Google sees that you offer that and can start to determine if you deserve to be on page 1. So I mentioned a little bit of content. There was a saying in the past, it's not as important as it used to be, but it's still extremely important to every SEO strategy. And that is content is king. In this slide, I say content plan is king because you can throw content on anything and it'll help you out, but what you need to do is you need to make sure you have a plan. And obviously that starts with the keyword research. You want to see what people are searching, find those keywords that people are searching. Then you want to use those keywords that people are searching and start building content around them. Again, Google's crawlers, they look at your site. They're trying to find as much information to determine what you provide and if you're an authoritative provider of those things that you say that you are providing. Without content, this is going to be extremely difficult. So you want to start throwing that content on every page that you possibly can. Obviously, you want your homepage to have content, but you also want to create landing pages based on amenities that your properties offer or neighborhoods that you have properties. I always whenever I'm running an SEO campaign, I like to look at all of the amenities that people are searching for. So vacation rentals with pool, San Diego vacation rentals that are oceanfront, San Diego vacation rentals that offer game rooms, different things like that. You really granular searches that are very, again, specific, the long tail. You want to look for those kind of keywords and then start creating landing pages for them and adding content to them. Once again, add those keywords to the page and that'll start helping you rank for those things. What this also does is it provides landing pages and more openings for people to land on your site when making these searches that you wouldn't be able to do if you're just, obviously our search results page, very powerful, important. You need to have that when you have a website. But just because you have the advanced search field with multiple amenities in that field doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be ranking for each of those amenities. So you need to start creating this granular content plan that starts targeting each of those kind of amenities, the areas that you offer, the different, and start targeting what makes your property so unique. Make sure that there is many openings for people to land on, as many landing pages as possible. So if you have beachfront homes, ski and ski out homes, mountain view homes, create those pages, write some content, go to Fiverr, have somebody do it. Or if you're a writer yourself, write it yourself. And just make sure you have those pages with content and keywords so people can find the properties and see what makes your company so special.
And Tyler, I think this is also super important about just delivering the kind of content or the kind of landing pages that people are looking for. So like pet friendly, I can actually go to a page that's just showing me pet friendly. It saves me from searching through your whole site.
Exactly. And it also, again, gives you an opening in Google, because if you don't have a page that is about pet friendly, you're not going to just have that pet friendly page show up in search. It'll take you to, if your homepage ranks for pet friendly, that's great. If you're, top 3, you're going to get a lot of traffic, but you're also going to get a lot of people that get there. Maybe they can't find those pet friendly rentals, so they leave. If you create a page that immediately serves the rentals that are pet friendly, it takes out an extra step of users having to find your rentals. They can go straight to your rental results with pet friendly, click on that rental that they see that they love and book. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to find those amenities that they're looking for. And these content plan pages, these landing pages are a great way to make sure that happens. One last thing with content too, though, you don't want to just make all of your content sales based. You don't want to only have landing pages that are centered around just your rentals. Obviously, we want to get more bookings. We want to get more money coming in through the site. But Google is also looking at your site to make sure that you are an authority. I keep on saying authority, and what that means is basically you want to have as much information about the area as possible that's accurate, well written, and that goes beyond just going, hey, buy our rentals, book our rentals. This is my property management service. You also want to turn yourself into that massive local authority. Have a ton of content about restaurants in the area, activities, attractions, events, all of that good stuff, because Google, believe it or not, is looking at that. They are trying to categorize you as much as possible, and you're going to be categorized as a vacation site. So if on a vacation site, Google expects to see this other information, even if it's not going to make you money. You're going to get a lot of people that get to these pages, they find information, they end up leaving. Some of these pages, they end up having a high bounce rate, but they have high engagement rates too, because people find this information extremely useful. And Google wants to see that. Google wants to see that stickiness. They want to see that engagement, and they want to see that you know everything about vacations in Scottsdale or San Diego or wherever you are. So create those pages, even if they're not going to be directly making you money, because Google is looking for them, and it's going to help you rank even better. Now, targeting the local packs. A lot of people get really squirmy about SEO just because, how are you going to outrank VRBO, Airbnb? How are you going to outrank these big national companies that have tons of money to throw out their marketing campaigns? This is one of the most powerful tools to help circumvent that. National sites, by and large, they can't have a Google business page because they don't have a local office. They don't have a local presence in these areas. You'll never see an Airbnb, Google My Business page here. So this is where, and 9 times out of 10, this local 3-pack, it shows up above the other rankings. So it's an extremely powerful spot for you to get into. And you absolutely need to have some Google local presence. And the way to do that, first off, make a Google My Business profile. It's free. It's an easy to set up thing. Just got to get it verified, add some information that Google walks you through. You need to create that. You also need to start getting reviews on that Google My Business local pack. Obviously you want to start reaching out to your guests, check in, check out, check up emails, all of those kind of triggers that you send out through your LMPM system. You include some review links that directly take them to your Google My Business. The more reviews you get, the better of a chance you have to rank in the local pack. You also want to add really nice photos of all your properties, add your business address to the footer of your site and your contact page, just everywhere you can in the Google My Business profile. Just make it as lush, as filled out as possible. Get a ton of reviews, and that'll get you started on the path to being able to show up in the local package. One other really important thing that is really important for getting into this local package is local citations. So Yellow Pages, Yellow Book, all of those kind of sites that display your NAP data, name, address, phone number. Google relies on those to make sure that they have the information correct. And if you have a whole bunch of incorrect information out on the web, a lot of crawlers, they'll go through and create these listings automatically, and you'll find your business on these pages that you've never created, your created listing, and you'll see that a lot of times it's an old phone number, it's an old address, it's an old brand name if you've changed your brand name. There's a ton of this inaccurate information out there that you might not even know is there. So, you want to start out by looking on Google, do a search for your brand, see what's out there, start updating that information, start adding more information to these local citations. The more the more of these local citations you have, the more correct and homogeneous that your NAP data is throughout the website or throughout the web, the better of a chance you have showing up in the local back. And again, this is going to be your best way of showing up, above Airbnb, above VRBO, and above those national big dogs that are so hard to outrank. Another very important part, and this is, going down into the LMPM tool, we need to start making sure that your properties themselves are optimized. You're going to have just like the rest of your site, your properties have a meta title, a description field. Yeah, they're going to have content on them describing the page. But at the end of the day, what the point of optimizing your property URLs and meta tags is not to start ranking for Scottsdale Vacation Rentals or San Diego Vacation Rentals. What you are trying to do here is make sure that your property on your website shows up when a past guest searches. You want to optimize your property as best as possible so that when somebody who is looking for, let's say, Rootin' Tootin', the name of the vacation rental that they stayed in last year, they can't remember, they can't find it. So they go onto Google, they search Rootin' Tootin'. You want your page to show up first. You don't want your Airbnb, VRBO pages to be showing up. You want to get your page to show up first. And this is how you're going to do that. In the LMPM tool, in the property page, you're going to have, you see here on this screenshot, you have your meta title, you have your URL slug, you also have your meta description as well. They're really easy to update. Basically, you want to just make sure that those are all optimized. My favorite way of doing this is just, reserve name of your property and then your brand, and then your description should be very descriptive, around 160 characters, saying why this property it needs to be booked by your guests. It includes some unique amenities in there, but again, keep your property name in there. Make sure it's exactly how you market it on all of your OTAs, all of your platforms. You want to get those that information in there. And same thing with your description. Go through your description, make sure that property name is in there. And then also a descriptive URL slug. Google actually does look at this when it's trying to determine, again, if you deserve to rank on page 1 or in the top 3. You want to make sure that your URL is actually descriptive of what the property is. I like to utilize a subfolder, so /vacation rental / whatever your name of the property is. And you see that, again, that field in the screenshot, the URL slug. Go ahead and use that. And that, again, is one more place to put your property name. So it helps you get your property showing up in VRBO. And you would be surprised. I know that a lot, again, once with Airbnb, VRBO, they're extremely powerful. We've had a ton of success getting people's properties or getting property management companies' properties showing up on page 1 for the name of their business, number 1, number 2, number 3. And again, it comes down to conversions and just relevance to search. So don't be afraid of, actually filling these things out, just thinking, oh, I'll never outrank those. Because you actually can. Google's looking at more than just how much money people are putting into their SEO campaign. It's one of the things that makes SEO so great for any property management company. It's not necessarily pay to play. Google actually goes out of its way to try to make it so it's not pay to play. So if you are able to set this up and you're able to actually go through and be consistent on all of this, you will start to see these properties show up. And obviously past guests are going to be some of your most converting searches, much more than you'll ever see on pretty much any other type of search. You want to get your past guests to be able to find your properties, and this is how you're going to be able to do that.
Tyler, just letting you know we're at the 10-minute mark.
Okay, yeah, and I'm basically done here. Just to finish things off here, just remember SEO is the long con. It's a long-term commitment. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out. If you waver, if you stop, you're going to start to see a decline in the results that you've received. And if you started out and you've been working on it 3 months and you're not seeing any improvements, well, just remember, it's going to take longer than that. I like to tell all of my clients that it takes around 6 months of consistent, well done SEO to really start to see those improvements that you are looking for. So don't get discouraged, just keep it going, keep on creating content, keep on optimizing, keep on adding your site to these citations, and you'll start to see that improvement. And then as you continue to go along, it becomes a rolling stone gathering no moss. You'll be very surprised. At the end of the day, though, SEO is a very dense subject. It's very difficult. There's a lot of just nitty-gritty work. So if you just don't have the time, SEO professionals are probably going to be your best bet going out, Bizcor, Q4, etc. We'd be able to do a lot to help make sure that your site is perfectly optimized and do all of that nitty-gritty work that honestly most of us don't really want to do. It's a lot. So we can help you get to that page 1 position and start getting you those bookings and those new homeowner acquisition inquiries that you're all looking for.
Thanks, Tyler. That was a lot. That's super helpful to everyone to just be able to get how complex SEO really is, and how having someone like an agency like Bizcor or Bluetent or Q4 Launch being able to step in with that. I get the honor of doing paid ads, which to me, I know Tyler mentioned pay to play. That's kind of how I feel this is sometimes too, where put some money in, get some money back. So 2 really effective ways. The first one we'll talk about is social media ads. So I did a quick look before this. On Facebook, there's like 2 billion plus people, which is insane. So talk about the potential there that you can have. But this is one of the quickest ways to advertise by advertising on Facebook. It's one of the quickest ways to get people back to your site and target them. You're going into a platform where as you scroll, and even with the recent update, you see, post from friend, ad. I mean, they're everywhere, right? They're all coming at you. And this is a great way to have that advertisement right in front of someone who may already be looking for a vacation, may already have come to your website and going back to it, or just wanted to get to know more of your area. You being that local destination expert, Facebook and Instagram are other really good ways to do that. I know we mentioned that with SEO. Now we mentioned that with email, even some of the data you're getting from LSI. All of that branding that you're doing, this is a great place to do it, and creating ads to pay for that presence there. It's a great way to build relationship with your guests, right? You're asking people for reviews. A lot of times in Robin's example with kind of the thank you or your post-departure emails, asking people to follow you on Facebook, not only organically, but also they're going to get a little bit of you lingering around in their friend ad situation that comes up that everyone's seeing too. It's a great way to remarket. So going even back to the LSI example where you have guests you haven't booked or ones that are looking for specific amenities, you can add lists of people into Facebook ads and even Instagram ads. You can add them to this platform. So you're retargeting those people who already wanted to know more about you, already expressed wanting to know more about you. You can target them where you can appear friendly to them and being able to create that one-to-one relationship. Facebook ads are also another great way to generate leads for your website and also some conversions as well. So first part of pay to play, Facebook and Instagram are a place to do it. And then the last one to touch on quickly is Google Ads. That is something that everybody on this call or all of our clients at Q4, I know Bluetent and Bizcor similarly are investing in paid search. It is one of the most effective ways to stand out on Google as well. So kind of pairing everything Tyler mentioned with SEO, with your metadata and your property descriptions and making sure it's optimized as you're building out those campaigns and ads. That's exactly where a lot of that keyword research is coming from. A lot of that dynamic or responsive type are pulling in from what you're advertising on your website. So you want those 2 things to be consistent as possible, not only to make sure you're increasing your conversions, but if a guest sees that, you want them to see that too, that you're keeping that branding consistent for them so they know. You can also upload the same list from LSI you put onto Facebook or Instagram ads. You can put them in Google ads as well. So again, really just making sure that guest knows that you're there and that you want them to book with you. So keep that in mind too. Those are some great ways to do it. Another opportunity as well is branded search. And I think this is something that people don't overlook, but something that should definitely be a part of your strategy is, to Tyler's point with SEO, we were talking about Airbnb and Vrbo and how they're big players in the space. This is one other ways to do that, but also locally too. So we always recommend bidding on your brand name because there's a pretty good chance that the OTAs are booking on your branded name and your competition is too. And you want to make sure your competition is not taking business from you, right? So you want to make sure those branded ads are in there. That's in the example on the right-hand side of the slide, just to see how that Dream Vacations is really dominating their brand name, the ad, and then their website as well. Again, great ways to retarget your guests that have booked you before, or maybe ones that are really close and you want them to. These are 3 great platforms to do that on.
Awesome, Ben. I think we've got like 4 minutes for questions. I didn't see any come up. Oh yeah, we wanted to talk about that we're all going to be at Verma. So in a couple of weeks, we will, all of us will actually be at Verma International. We'll all have booths, and we would love anyone from LMPM to stop by and connect with us if you can. If you haven't registered yet and you can get to Orlando, please do so, because it's going to be a really big, great event this year. We're excited to see clients meet LMPM folks. It's going to be a big blast. But if there were any other last questions, it looks like we've got one last poll question, and then we can wrap it up. I don't know what our booth numbers are, Reagan, but we'll make sure that it gets to the LMPM or the attendees of this list. You'll get this presentation and hopefully some booth information so you can find us, but we'll be easy to spot. Thanks everyone for being with us today on this Thursday, and I hope you have a really lovely day.